Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Painkiller, Blind. Now, I am really low on health. And even lower on ammo, actually. Is there any ammo within this arena? Because if not, then I'm kind of screwed. Okay, so this kind of... This responds well to... It's a shotgun, basically. Responds well to sort of high risk, high reward kind of attitude, which is to get really in their face. Okay, this might not work out for me. I have like 10 health, and you know, there isn't really a way to get more without starting over. I think I'm dead, actually. And as I said, this is generally a problem because I'm generally unsure. First of all, I'm unsure of what this even does, if anything. But what I'm also unsure is how to get more health. And if there is going to be a boss at the end, as there was in the previous stage, then that's even worse. Okay, one of them is just bugged. Will this kill me? Well, it's the end, actually. Souls collected 0 out of... So every enemy drops... Destroy all objects. Okay, so there are special objectives for each level. And also every enemy drops a soul, but I don't know what? How does that work? They don't seem to be appearing when I kill them. Like, I tried walking over the corpses and nothing really happened, so I'm pretty confused, actually. Yeah, I have 100, so I could deploy this, take only half of the damage. You know what, I will keep it. If I get to a stage that I like keep dying, then I will sort of use it then. But I am rather thoroughly confused. Catacombs, okay. Rather thoroughly confused on the soul front. Like, how do I... Maybe it will tell me something. Maybe there's a special button for use golden cards on E. Previous weapon, next weapon, strafe, advanced weapons, flashlight. No, it doesn't. Okay, I just don't get how the souls work. Like, by all accounts and logic, the souls should drop once I kill enemies, right? That's like a logical sort of idea for dropping souls, but they don't. Like, They just don't. So what do I do about it? And what do I do about this? Okay, clearly that was not the intended way to progress. Maybe if I shoot the... maybe if I shoot the barrel behind, it's going to explode. But you know what's a bit? Yeah, okay. I just don't, you know, I'm so conditioned by games to see, you know, explosive barrels should be like red or orange is what my brain tells me. So when I see a sort of regular wood-colored crate, my brain doesn't consider it. My brain doesn't consider it to be an explosive barrel. Where's your soul? Yeah, like, I don't get it. They just evaporate, and if I walk over them, nothing happens. So where are all of the souls? Like, I do actually feel pretty dumb, because by all accounts there are hundreds of them everywhere around. Because the number is corresponding to the number of enemies, and yet I consistently pick up 0 souls everywhere I go. So I do find that a little bit weird. And a little embarrassing, I'm gonna lie. Especially because from the way it's kind of described, they seem to be a vital resource of some sort, and yet, despite, you know, playing through 3 entire levels, I have picked up 0 of them. Like 0. And it shows numbers, you know, at this point, numbering in the thousands, most likely. So, I just don't know what to think about it. Okay, those are like suicide bomber enemies. Okay, so that's like a precision stake launcher, which clearly requires more precision than I have, seeing how I cannot hit anyone. Seriously, what's wrong with me? Okay, I'm clearly broken. I've wasted a whole lot of health on this, and I also apparently died somehow. Okay, the game actually crashed multiple times when trying to reload the last the last checkpoint, which definitely does not endear me to it. See, especially it doesn't, seeing how I'm going to die very soon again. So yeah, and this stake launcher is a bit broken, it seems to me. Like, this seems to actually be much more of a precise weapon, in a way. Which is a bit weird, because it's not even... It's a bit like a lasso. Like, you have to... You kind of throw it, and then... it goes back to you. Like, I'm really not satisfied with the amount of health that I lost on this, but I will go on, specifically also because this area seems to be rather unstable, so if I... Okay, that's kind of annoying, because there's no checkpoint down there, so if I die, I'll have to redo the entirety of this every time. So maybe I should concentrate on trying not to die. That would be pretty swell, actually, if you ask me. This weapon seems to be unadulterated shit. Yeah, this is not great. I'm pretty close to death. I would like a checkpoint. Okay, at least I get a checkpoint. Which is, I guess, better than nothing. I still kind of prefer this. Maybe the other weapon would be better against bosses, because or like single big enemies, because it seems to be more of a precision weapon. I'm not quite sure what do I use gold for. Maybe I can purchase more of those cards later on. So far, the use for gold has not really cropped up. What? How did that kill me? Was that an explosive coffin? No, I guess I must have walked into one of those bombers. After all. so far, it seems to be, again, keep in mind that I don't really play shooters that much, or at all, I have never even played any of the classics such as Quake or Doom or Wolfenstein, I don't have much of a comparison, but it seems to me so far that this game is pretty simplistic in its enemy design, because most of them just rush you, and it's the matter of maneuvering in such a way as to avoid them, the hits, while landing your own hits. But there is not much in terms of... Okay, can I get down there? No. Well, I could get down here. Clearly that's a different place. And I'm also dead. I do feel pretty bad about it, actually. So this grants me bonus health, but how do I capitalize on it by getting out? Okay, this works. What was I saying? Yeah, there's not much in terms of like having to use actual tactics to defeat those enemies. Like, for example, practice a particular method of dodging or something like that. It's just... it's just avoiding those melee enemies, although obviously, again, I'm pretty early in the game, so there might yet be more enemy types further on, and the variety, at least in the graphical department of those enemies, is actually pretty decent. They do, even if many of them just charge you, at the very least they look different. You have those couple of varieties of skeletons, but also those monks, those weird like Baba Yaga types of witches. Like, actually, if any of you watching by any chance are fans of shooters and are like experienced in shooters, let me know. You know, obviously it's different when you play versus when you watch, but if you look at this, how does it compare to like a classic shooter? Does it look fun? Because, you know, from my perspective as a player, I would say, you know, it is kind of fun in a way, just because so much stuff is happening at the screen, and when you know, execute those enemies in the hundreds, there is something satisfying about it, you know, to see them all flying about or whatever. But in the end, as I said, it does seem very simplistic, actually. And like, it's kind of a mindless type of fun, you know. I would liken the fun of this to kind of the same sensation that you get out of clickers. Like, you... Okay, that's not a valid comparison maybe, because this requires some kind of focus, right? It wouldn't... Like, it doesn't really play itself. You do need to devote some if not brain matter, then at the very least some modicum of your reflexes to actually go ahead in this game. But it doesn't, you know, there's just nothing more to it. It's like pure sort of click fest of involving just your you know, hand-eye coordination, and even that isn't that complicated, to be honest, when you look at it, because first of all, you can tell by the fact that I'm still getting ahead, because I'm pretty bad when it comes to things like hand-eye coordination. And second, as I said, there's just no deeper philosophy to it, apart from just, you know, avoiding the enemies and shooting them back. And, you know, I guess if you wanted to be reductionist enough, I guess you could say that about every shooter, that it just amounts to avoiding your enemies and then shooting them back. And I guess technically that would be true, but what I mean is, it seems to me that none of the enemies in this game, at least so far, require any kind of like advanced tactic. They pretty much all succumb to the exact same type of tactic, which is to basically shoot them in the face head on. Okay, that kind of seems like a boss arena. I have a feeling this guy might require something more sophisticated, like a headshot or something. Because to be honest, the sort of the feedback is a little scarce on whether I'm actually hurting it. I'm definitely hurting myself, which is kind of problematic. Okay, I killed myself on accident, so that is as well a little embarrassing. Where's the checkpoint? It's clearly something with this platform, but how do I bring it down is my question that I don't really know the answer to yet. Okay, so I guess that's what I was meant to do. Okay, that's kind of embarrassing because, to be honest, you know, I should have figured that out in like a moment. That wasn't too complicated in and of itself. So, you know, if that speaks badly of anything, to be honest, at this particular moment, it speaks badly of me, not necessarily of the game. Card unlocking status: kill all monsters. Unlocked. Soul Keeper, souls stay longer. But what? But they do not exist at all. What are you talking about? Cathedral. Okay, let's just go with it. Okay, that was a checkpoint, which, to be honest, is a good moment to end this episode, because I think it's been long enough. So that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.